Check, 47. Coming after you. I'm coming after you. Alert flare. X3. He's coming. Double up.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. They'll look to throw here. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 46-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Running is Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Hey, switch gears.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Ready.
Line 50, line 50.
Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
Check.
Yeah. Let's go.
Now this time, Locke will throw. Completes it to Aguilar. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On 4th down, on is Colby Wadman now to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Fine. Your playmakers and give them the football.
we go. Here we go. 60 out long. Cut. On it. 47's the mic, boys. 47. Check. 47. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. 47 Mike.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Clock now to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 49-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Ready? 60 or. Ready?
3rd and 2, Locke's going to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we've hardly ever seen anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Ready?
50 seconds. Come on.
Go out.
Man, I got you.
Snap.
Lock to throw on 2nd down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. It got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 28.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Slam, slam, slam. Check.
Here's Jacobs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches.
Check, 47. Let's go one more. Check.
2nd down and inches. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller there to make the grab. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Sturgis for the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before.
And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Locke. It's caught by Aguilar. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Nelson Aguilar in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
First down, Denver.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
That's going to be a long day. That's going to be a long day. He's coming. He's coming.
Hey, exit. Let's go.
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
They'll try the draw. Lindsey. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Locke. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 14.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Locke now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Locke. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. They look to throw. It's Locke. And the pressure gets to him again. Maurice Hurst in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. To throw it is Locke. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And McManus able to put it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
Touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll come out throwing here on first down. An incomplete, an excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
53, check 53.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10.
I got you, boy.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It was Isaiah Johnson there to make the stop. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Broncos on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 42. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual play.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Looking deep downfield. And the defense loses him. It's complete. 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay taking it in. And the Broncos push further out in front. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. 2nd and 1. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw here. Got his man. It's Williams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They'll run it with Jacobs. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They'll go with a keeper. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They go with Jacobs, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs taking it in. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Sturgis adds the PAT as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A gain of 3, second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason.